Howdy YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, we got some new toys in to play with. I'm very excited about them. So, today's video is going to be covering what those new toys are, who they're for, what they're for, and a brief synopsis of some of their features. So, buckle up, get your favorite cup of coffee or adult beverage, and get ready to join us. First things first, this video is dedicated to the one and the only Willie Howe. Willie, it's all your fault. And on that subject, this came in the mail from somebody named Howe. So either he's an Indian or his last name. Oh, could it be from Willie Howe? Could it be? Well, it's addressed to me. He sent it by the Postal Service, and I'm amazed it actually got here. And if you've ever had to open a Postal Service box, yeah, it requires a certain skill set to be able to tear this son of a gun apart. Hang on, let's get this sucker open because I promised Willie that I would open it on air. So hopefully, if it's a bomb and it explodes in my face, you'll know who to blame. I don't think Willie would send me a bomb, though. He's a pretty nice guy. He's a pretty cool guy, other than sitting too close to the camera. And I had to say that. You don't really sit too close to the camera, Willie. You're handsome. You're adorable. We all like seeing Willie Howe. Oh my God. See what I mean about opening this box? You would swear Fort Knox gold was in this box. Okay, is that a small animal? No, it's not. Willie, months ago, made a comment. As you know, I like to wear hats because I'm an old bald guy and I don't like to... I brush my hair in the morning and that's pretty much it. And then I wear hats all day. So look what Willie sent me. That's gorgeous. That is the most gorgeous thing. In fact, don't laugh. Don't laugh at my hair. I have a madman's hair. Oh shit, it's too small. I can always cut that out in post. I have a big head, Willie. That's why I have a YouTube channel, because my ego won't fit. Alright, what do y'all think? Okay, it's still a little too tight. Let me get it down a little bit more. There we go. In honor of Willie Howe, I'm wearing this hat through the rest of this video. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Willie, I hope you're happy. I got something here in my lap. Y'all want to see it? Up? I got something up here in my lap. Yeah, here it is. You know who this is. This is Maddie May. This is Daddy's baby girl, aren't you? Yeah, you're Maddie May. She decided to join us in this video. Now, in my last live stream, some of you may have noticed I've got some stuff here behind me on my rolling cardigan. You're going to have to tune in for another video to see what this is, this big metal box. But the phone is what I'm pointing at there. That's a GXP-2170. And I'm getting ready to tell you what all this is for. So, let's go to those videos right now, and then we'll come back and we'll have a little discussion after we're done. You're probably saying to yourself, Unky Joe, where did you get all these wonderful toys from? And what are they for? Well, as you know, in my business, I do VOIP systems, phones, etc. And I came across, I've used Grandstream for a number of projects. They have some of the cheaper phones out there, and I've had very good luck with Grandstream products. And this is for an existing client I have. And currently they have an incredible PBX. It's about 5 or 6 years old. We installed it way back when. It served them well, but it's time to retire it. And I told this client about the UCM 6202 from Grandstream and told them that I'd like to get one in here to evaluate, and that we were going to go ahead and get one in the next month or two to evaluate, and if we were happy with its performance, we would then start selling them. And this client, this particular client, is an engineering firm, and he loves new toys. And he said, well, why don't you just let me buy it and pay for it, so y'all aren't out the money, and if we don't like it, we can return to Amazon within 30 days and get our money returned. And I said, hey, that's fine. So in addition to that, he went ahead and ordered a new phone for his desk, the GXP-2170, and then also a DP-720 wireless handset and a DP-750 base station. So what I thought I would do is include all of these into one video and just give you a kind of overview of the 4 different devices, what they do, and how well they work together. So that's what this video is all about. The one thing I haven't shared with you is the fact that I am now filming these videos on a new Canon Vixia HF-R800. I'll be doing a review on this camera later as we get on through my series of videos, but suffice it to say, I'm really in love with this little bitty camera. It's tiny. It's exactly what I needed to do. I know, you're saying to yourself, but Joe, you have that excellent Canon DSLR camera. Yes, I do. But the autofocus on that camera is not great, and when I'm doing YouTube videos, I don't have time to be messing with the focus. I just want the camera to work. So while I will still use that camera for a majority of still shots and telephoto and wide angle shots and special camera shots, this camera, the Canon Vixia HF-R800, is going to be my daily driver. And I would like to thank all of my subscribers who have donated via PayPal or Patreon over the past few months. That's how we were able to save up the money and get this camera. So far, I'm very impressed with it. I'm using an external condenser microphone with a very long cable. Works well. I've used it on my other Canon DSLR camera and it worked great. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you to let you know what we're filming this video on. Alright, so we have before you the UCM 6202 and the DP-750 base station. You'll notice if I hold these units up, neither one of them are plugged into power because they're able to use PoE connections. Once you get the device set up, Willie Howe has a great video on how to set up this UCM 6202. I'll be doing some videos on this as well. This is the client unit. It's currently set up for our phone system here at Uncle Joe's Playhouse, and it's working well. In fact, I have a new love for VOIP systems. This box is out of the box. It was a little hard to get set up. I had to relearn things the way I did them on free PBX, how they were different on the Grandstream device. But suffice it to say, we were able to get it set up and working. And once you get it initially set up, then you can power it via the LAN port and using PoE, which we did. Now this unit has two FXO and two FXS ports. So basically you have two old style plain old telephone lines outgoing and two incoming. In addition to using VoIP. It also has a router built into it, so if you don't have a router or a firewall, you can actually set this Grandstream device up as a firewall or a router strictly for the Grandstream device. It's my understanding, but it works well. And then next to it we have the DP-750. This is the base station to run the wireless decked handsets. And as you can see, we're also running it over PoE. There is no power connected to it, just a PoE power supply, or I mean PoE enabled Ethernet connection is all we're using. Very simple to set that up. You basically plug it in, you go to the IP address, do some reconfiguration on it, and then basically mirror your handset or sync up your, what do they call that, pair your handset. It was very simple. We have tested the handset, which I will show you now. So that is the model DP-720. Pull it into frame here so you can see it a little bit better. It is it's a good little handset. We set it up initially. The house here is about 80 feet long. We went to the end of the house while having a telephone conversation. We even went outside into the front yard to the edge of the property, which is another 50 feet away. So we got up to 120 feet before we started noticing any static on this device at all. But I was really impressed with the capability of that handset as to how far it would go. Now, we're going to be doing some tests on it next week to where we just, make a phone call and play some music in the background and see how long the battery actually lasts on that, and make sure we don't have any glitches. But I have had, with this setup, I have had 0 drop calls since we started using this Grandstream equipment. I have had no springy sounds. I have had no garbled audio. I've been using it for 2 weeks now, calling clients. We use it as our daily driver phone system. instead of our Incredible PBX. And the problems I was having with Incredible PBX could have been because it was running virtually, but those problems have now disappeared, and this is working fine. What we have here now is the GXP-2170 desktop phone. It has HD audio quality. You know, it's a standard Grandstream phone, except you've got a ton of these what do they call, multi-function keys on each side of the phone. You have your voicemail button here, you have your directory button here, call transfer, three-way calling, pause, headset, mute the volume. You have your volume, you can take it off hook this way. You have your volume control here for your ringer and for your audio. It does have a complete menu system if you're to press the center button, so you've got your call history, your status, your contacts, messages. You can reboot, system information, which is connections, provision settings, and factory functions, preferences, and SIP configuration for the phone. And as you can see, this backdrop is completely programmable. You can put whatever HTML code in there you want. It displays the date and the time. This phone also has Bluetooth built into it, so if you have a Bluetooth headset, it'll work with it, it'll pair with it, and it also has plugs in the back for a headset. It is a PoE. It is a 1 gigabit PoE phone. So you can actually hook this up in between your computer and your network if you don't have a separate VLAN for this or whatever, a separate LAN. And it can serve as a switch for your computer as well. But you know, keep in mind anytime that you use a VOIP phone in line with your PC, if something were to happen to the phone, the computer is going to lose its network connection. It is PoE. I'm using it as PoE right now with that 8-port PoE switch I have from Ubiquiti on my workbench. And this is another piece of that. This is going to go on the CEO's desk. In addition to the normal features of any other Grandstream phone, I mean, we'll be looking it up online so you can see all the features on it. You can get an additional, this could be your secretary or your receptionist phone. If you're in that large of a company, you can get a sidecar on here that'll tell them, give them the busy lamp fields and tell them, you know, like we have here, these are set up as BLFs. So like you just saw in the previous video here, I explained to you these are for an existing client of mine. Their phone system's getting a little bit long in the tooth. They've got an old PC running, Incredible PBX, and it was time to switch, get them onto a new system. Their machine's getting long in the tooth, and it consumes a lot more power than a smaller device would. And so a few months ago I was watching Willie Howe, and he came out with this. I'm always a little leery about all-in-one devices, you know, these appliances that they sell. I've always been a roll-your-own kind of guy, and that has more than one meaning, if you know what I mean. To where I wanted to build my own VOIP server. I just wasn't confident enough in these little standalone devices with the, you know, the microprocessors and little bits of RAM in them to power a phone system or a firewall for that matter. But I digress. So once I saw Willie did a video on the UCM series, which is an IP PBX. It's basically a little appliance that runs free PBX inside of it. And then they've taken the code because it's open source and they've modified it and made their own interface for it. So let me show you those devices here. So here is the UCM 6202 or the 6200 series. They have them in different various flavors, and as you can see, some of the features are the 6202 and the 6204 support up to 500 users and 30 to 45 concurrent calls. Now, I haven't tested that. I don't know that it will stand up to that. Most of my small business users are between 5 and 50 to 75 users. Those are the areas that we focus on. And I've talked with Willie about this, and he assures me that it will support that many concurrent calls. And then the 6208, excuse me, the 6208 supports up to 800 users and 100 concurrent calls. It also has auto discovery and zero configuration of Grandstream SIP endpoints. I haven't used that. I've looked at it and I was not impressed, but I'm not an auto configure kind of guy. With between 5 and 75 phones, I prefer to do them manually. It's just a thing of mine. It has 2, 4, or 8 PSTN trunks, FXO ports, 2 analog FXS ports with lifeline capability, and up to 50 SIP trunk accounts. It has gigabit network ports with integrated PoE, USB, or an SD card for your storage for your recordings. It has a 5-level IVR, interactive voice response, built-in call recording server. Recordings are accessible via the web interface. Built-in call detail records for tracking phone line usage data. Multi-language auto-attendant. Good security protection. It supports any SIP video endpoint that uses a H.264 T63 or 263 plus codecs. So, it also has a somewhat of a flash operator panel built into it. I'm not going to show that in this video. I'm just going over the devices right now. So here's some of the other features here: gigabit, auto attendant, recording, call queue, call detail records, SIP video, system backup, voicemail to email, fax to email, phone books, and voicemail. And then it has some FAQs you can read on the website about it as well. The device retails, right now it's going between $250 and $350 depending on where you buy it from. I think we got this one or the client got this one for $250. Now, just so you know, I'm so impressed by that the UCM 6202 that I have ordered one for Unky Joe's Playhouse and for my company to use. So that's how confident I am in this unit, how impressed I am with it, that I'm going to actually plunk down the money and buy it for my company, because as we're growing this year, we're going to be adding some more people to our staff, and it's time to move out of the realm of a virtual machine for our PBX and into the physical realm where I have an actual box dedicated to telephony or telephone lines. The other thing I wanted to tell you is you can also encrypt. This supports SIP encryption. So we're not going to cover that in this video, but I want you to be aware that it does have it. So internally you can also encrypt the calls. So if you have managers and they don't want to have their phone calls overheard or something, or somebody to call barge in on a call, you can encrypt that data and people won't be able to hear it. So here's some information on it's a GXP 2170 color high-end IP phone. And you can see the features here: 12 lines, 6 SIP accounts, 5 soft keys, and 5-way voice conferencing, 48 on-screen digitally customizable BLF speed dial keys. So I think that's if you have the sidecar. I don't know. See, they're showing it here with the sidecar. I don't have the sidecar. All we have is the phone. But I would imagine you can get a sidecar for that, as they're showing here, right there, the sidecar. But you notice that's not in color. That's all right. 4.3-inch color LCD screen, dual gigabit ports, integrated PoE, integrated Bluetooth, and support up to 4. Oh, so it supports up to 4 of these modules for BLF, speed dial access up to 160 contacts. You have BLF and speed dial, gigabit, Bluetooth, HD audio, power over Ethernet, encryption, security, auto provisioning, EHS headset, and USB. So that is the 2170. Alright, so now I'm not a big fan of wireless phones, but this customer wanted a wireless phone because they roam around the office. They want something they can keep on their hip and have their desk phone ring if they're in another office, and that's perfectly fine. So what we did was we got them a DP750. And you can see the features here. It has up to 10 SIP accounts per system, up to 10 lines per handset. So each one of these handsets can have 10 different lines, and up to 5 concurrent calls per system. That supports a range of up to 300 meters, and you know my test, we did about 120 feet. I think 300 meters is pretty close to that, and 50 meters indoors. And it didn't start getting static on the line until we got to about 120 feet, but other than that it was fine. Now keep in mind, I'm out in the country. I'm not in a very saturated environment, so your mileage may vary on that. You have 3-way voice conferencing, full HD audio and integrated PoE, automated provisioning support. They're very simple to provision and get them going. You have TLS and SRTP security, secure encryption technology, protect calls and accounts. You can use it with Grandstream's UCM series, which we have, the 6202. And it offers multiple ring group options, including circular, linear, parallel, and shared modes. And then you can see down here it has HD audio, encryption security, auto provisioning, PoE, three-way conference, zero config, phone books, and 10 lines. Up to 10 lines per handset. And last but not least, we have the DP-720 handset. It's a nice looking little handset. It feels really good in the hand. It works really well. We've had really good luck with it in our testing here. I'll just go over some of the features. So it's supported by the DP-570. 5 DP-720 handsets are supported, so you can have 5 of them on each base station. Supports a range of up to 300 meters outdoors and 50 meters indoors. You can have 10 SIP accounts per handset. That's what I was talking about earlier, and where you can hand off. If somebody else wants to use this as their phone, they could have it for part of the day while someone else has it for part of the day. And depending on how you can set up different ringtones for different users, etc. Full HD audio on both the speakerphone and handset. It also has a headset jack, 3.5mm standard, three-way voice conferencing. Automated provisioning options include TR-069 and XML config files, so it's pretty much compatible with any IP phone system out there. DECT authentication encryption technology to protect calls and accounts. And you can see here the same thing down here. So that's the DP-720. Now I have received permission from this client to film. This is the same client we did the security cameras on up on the 8th floor of a large building in San Antonio. So we'll be going out next week to install this in an evening, and so we'll show you the install. It's going to be fairly trivial. Basically, just drop it in place and reprogram the phones. But I'll try to take you along with that while we do that. So anyway, there you go. That's the products I've been testing for the last week and a half and getting ready to install for a client. So there you go, silly hat and all, thanks to Willie Howe. Thanks again, Willie, I love this hat. We hope you found the video entertaining and informative as always. And like I said, we will do a deep dive into these products as time marches along. I have to focus my energy on my business, and I got a new business partner I brought on, so he's got to be trained and we got to get him up to speed. In fact, we're going to be we'll be doing a video around the wiring of his house to get him ready to come on board with the business. So look forward to that video. And keep in mind, if you are so inclined to donate, please do so. We take PayPal and Patreon. Hey, just a little hint. We're also over on BitChute. We're going to be mirroring some of our videos on BitChute while YouTube tries to figure out what the hell they're doing with their channels. So in the event you can't find it on YouTube, it'll be over on BitChute. In fact, I will probably end up putting the whole Exponology series of videos over on BitChute. So make sure to join us over there as well if you aren't already a BitChute member. It's free. Sign up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And you have freedom of speech on BitChute. Well, at least for now. So check us out over there as well. Thanks again for watching. Thanks, Willie, for the hat. Thanks to all my subscribers out there. Your donations have made an item behind me possible, and we'll go into that later as we carry on with more videos. So thanks again for watching, and don't forget that we will see you on the other side, hat and all.